Now we're going to build a routine at the end of this particular subprogram number 1. First, we're going to place the yellow line so that we can put instructions after it. To place the yellow line, you click to the right of center of the line above where you want to put the instructions. So I'm going to click here because I'm going to add to the bottom here. Well, since it's a routine, I want a tab for it. Well, I can go up here and I see the last one was tab 24. If I click on the action, it'll place that line up here in what I call update mode. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want tab 24, I'm the next tab, it's going to be 25. So I'm going to click on there, displays the number here, I'm going to change that 4 to a 5, enter it, and then I'm going to say I want to put this line below the yellow line. There it is. Now I have tab 25. Well, I'm going to make a star, and I know that a star has points, so I know I want to have a for next loop to go around and create each one of the points. So if I click to the left of the line, it'll put that line in update mode. But I don't want a tab instruction, I want a for. And I like to use the index I. And I don't have a name to put here. I'm just going to say I'm starting at I of 1. Now I'm going to put that below that line. Well, if I have a for, I have to have a next. So I'm going to click on this side. For goes up there, but no, I want to have a next. Next, oh, I'm lucky, it says I already, but it ain't going to go around just one time, so I'm going to click there. I want it to go around 40 times. And each time I only want I changed by 1. Say if I would leave that 0, it would go around that loop forever. Now I put that below there. Oh, the next thing I think of is, well, I need the vector command because I'm going to make points around a center point. Well, the best thing to use for that is vector. So I go up here and I put that one in update mode because I want to go put a vector statement there. Vector, then it says, okay, how about your points of X? Oh, well, I have a name down here for point X, so I'll use it. Then it says start point X at 0, and I'm going to put my I in here because I'm going to start a list of them. There's my I, point XI, and I want points for Y. Oh, it put a 1 there. Nope, to be consistent, it has to be a 0. So I click there, hit enter, 0, and then I put I there. Then it says I need an XY value. Oh, I also need rotation, size, as well as X and Y. Alright, so I will put in there the X control register. Now I have my vector made, but it told me that I need these other values. So I'm going to put that below the 4 for now, but then I got to go create those other values. So they have to come before the loop. They have to be defined. So I'll go back up here, put that in update mode, and I'll say, well, told me I have to set my R control register to the beginning rotation value. I'm going to say that 0 is fine. Put that below there. Then I go there and I say, alright, my S value has to be defined too. So I get that, and I say over here, my S value there. Boom. Well, the S is the size. Size of 0, you're not going to see anything. So I better change that to something like 100. Okay. And I put that below there. Well, I define my R and my S like the vector said it needed. Now I also, it wants to know X and Y. So I go to X. I'm going to make X 200. 200. And put it below. And I'm going to need Y also. There's Y. I'll have it be 200 also. Notice it remembers the number from there because we updated X to make Y. So we'll say put that below there. Alright, so now I have the values that vector said it wanted. Oh, but now I realize, look, if my vector direction is always the same thing, all my dots are going to be on the same angle, but I want to make a star, so I want them to go around in a circle. So every time I go around a loop, I really want to change the value of R. So I'm going to click here, because I want to put a line under there that says add to the R control register. And notice the control registers are always highlighted with green, so you know they're control registers. So I'm going to add to my rotation. Oh, I don't want a value there, so I can click the white box and take that away. There's no name. All I'm going to do is put in an immediate value. And the value I want is 24. And I don't want the I there either. All I want to do is say add 24 to R. Now you say, why 24? I want it to go in a complete circle. Well, there are 960 angles in a circle. 40, the number of times I go around, times 24 is 960. So now I'm going to put that below the vector. So now I know it's going to add 24 until it gets R all the way to 960. Well, say I'm making a circle now because the size of every vector is the same. So it's going to make points in a circle, and I don't want to do that. I want to make a star. Well, that means my value of S can't always be the same value. It has to be, say, 100, then 50, then 100, then 50. I can use the swap action for that, but I need two S values. So I'm going to click here. This is the control register S, but I'm going to use my local register S to store another value. Half that size. It's going to be 50. And I'm going to put that below there. So now I have a size of 100 that I'm going to swap with 50. Well, every time I go around, I want to change it. Go around 40 times. So what I'm going to do is underneath this one, I'm going to not add, I'm going to say swap. So I'm going to go over here to the swap action, and I'm going to say I want to swap my S size register with my register S. That means every time I go around, they're going to swap. Now I'm going to below there. Alright, so now the angle gets increased by 24, and I swap those two. Now the next thing I know I have to do when I have vectors, I need to have the dot position instruction before I do my polygon. So I'm going to say dot P. Now it wants to know, well, where's X and Y? Well, I put the X's here. But then it says at what offset? Oh, I started with I offset of 1. So I got to click here. I got my first one's going to be at 1. And my Y's are going to be in point Y. And again, but I started with 1, so I have to go to this one. Alright, so now I have my dot P. Dots for X are here. Dots for Y start here. But when I look up at the command up here, it says for a count of Z. Oh, the Z control register has to have the count. Well, first I'll put this down there. I'll put it down there below. But now I know I have to put the count in Z. Otherwise, this instruction won't know how many points there are. So I'll click here. I'm going to say I'm going to set the Z control register. Oh, I want to set it to 40 but since I just was updating this next 40, it already had 40 in there. It's my lucky day. So I'll say put that below there. So now I can do this instruction. It knows how many points at both these positions. Well, now the rest of this is I have to go down here and I have to tell it a color. I have to tell it the polygon, fill, and I have to say home. But I look up here and I see color, polygon, home. So I'm going to copy those instructions. It's not plagiarizing, it's just copying. But I gotta put my yellow position here. And then I'm gonna say copy the green lines below the yellow line. And there they are. Now, here's our program, which is routine 25. And I think it's complete now. Well, we're going to find out if I tell it to execute the application. I've already told it to go to tab 25. There's our star. While programming, get information from the glossary by clicking Info. Thank you for watching.